This instrument is the MPC 2000. It's a sampler. You record samples in and you program them to the different buttons. What I found that I wanted to do was create a palette of sounds, because you have 16 different buttons. So you can create a whole harmony or some kind of world within these 16 buttons. I started composing a lot of music using this structure, you know, writing samples for live musicians and conducting them in the same way that I could sample, you know, the notes on this machine. More than anything, this has had the biggest influence on my compositional approach. You know, there's so many influences listening to so much music, but everything is filtered through what I can create on the MPC. So the name of this album is Farewell, and the name of the ensemble is the Jon Armstrong Jazz Orchestra. So this is my first album as a leader. I feel so blessed to be in Los Angeles right now. There's such an incredible collection of talent. And throughout the whole ensemble are just such dynamic, exciting soloists. And so when I was composing, I was constantly thinking of who was going to be playing on what song and how to feature them the best. So throughout this whole album, you're going to hear some very exciting solos. I wanted to get a live environment in the studio where all the musicians could just be free to explore and be free to take chances as well. I mean, the music wasn't written to perfect every single note. It wasn't, you didn't have to play every single E flat in the third trombone, but the mood of the session really was a celebratory mood. We had an incredible engineer, and he was able to create this genius recording studio with just one trunk full of gear. It was ridiculous. And the guys and the girls in the band were just outstanding all day. It was great. And I think you can hear that when you listen to the album. You can hear that everybody was having a good time that day. And they were fed well. We made some nice lentils. I thought for a while about whether to include the word jazz in this ensemble. And at some point it occurred to me that jazz music isn't really a genre in the same way that bluegrass is a genre. You know, bluegrass implies some kind of aesthetic, some kind of style that people hear instantly when they think bluegrass. Or heavy metal, that's a certain style, a certain collection of sounds that you hear. But jazz music has transcended that, and in fact, it transcended it multiple decades ago. To me, jazz music is more of an approach. It's more of a way to expand and explore the music that you are presented with. And to name the group the Jon Armstrong Jazz Orchestra is my humble offering to this approach to music. And that some of the music that you're going to hear on this album, it doesn't necessarily sound like jazz. It doesn't sound like the modern version of what jazz is these days, but it certainly has that spirit, both with the compositions that I wrote and certainly with the improvisers that are playing on the album.